I think we left off, we just got done wrestling them bears. And we decided we're going to camp for the night before going back into the produce village.
Okay, yeah, and it was you, Jekyll, and Cord, that's right.
I don't even think we actually set the camp up yet.
Okay. So is that what you want to go ahead and do? Just y'all lay out a camp and everything for the night?
Yeah, we have to lay out the camp because I know I need to heal.
Alright, Cord and Jekyll, they walk around a bit and they're picking up all kinds of debris in the forest and everything, bringing a nice little pile where you guys just wrestled the bears at. And they get a pretty good supply, I'd say. I think at this point you're only about maybe 30 minutes away from the village, if I recall.
Yeah, still gonna camp out for the night and then we'll go in during the day.
For sure, I feel that. So, you do your little firebolt on top of the pile, get it all nice and risen, and you guys just chilling at the fire for the night. A couple hours goes by, nice and quiet, no interactions really with anything else, and Cord turns to you and he says, I just want to say I really appreciate you guys keeping me alive back there, you know. I think maybe I let my emotions get the best of me and I got in over my head.
You suck at fighting.
Well, I don't know if I'd say that. I think, you know, I don't know why you weren't affected by that song, but, you know, with that song playing in my head, I felt like I could hardly even see. Yeah, I'd probably have a scar for a long time from this.
Well, you are human and we're high elves. That would make the biggest difference.
Jekyll puts his hands on his hips and he starts like lifting his head up and down like, mm-hmm. Well, hopefully that's not a permanent setback. Maybe eventually being a human will be good for something else.
Yeah, maybe we might come across a creature that only wants to eat high elves, and you could be of use to us.
Maybe. Hopefully, no creatures want to eat any of us, and we'll just be all safe. Jekyll goes, I doubt it.
Yeah, the world doesn't work like that, bud.
Y'all have a slight chuckle, and the sun sets. It's nighttime now, and everyone gets around for bed. Who do you want to keep watch?
Well, I'll take the first watch while they take the first rest.
Alright, and let's see. Alright, and nothing happens. You guys wake up to a nice, bright, shiny day. The horses are still chilling right by y'all. Your fire's still going a little bit. And everything's nice and simple at the moment.
Oh, so we already slept through the night?
Yeah, y'all really didn't have... I'd say it was kind of late at that point already. Like, I think it was in like 5 or 6 in the afternoon, or at nighttime already almost, when you guys were in the torment trees. So, I'd say it was a pretty lax night for you. You had already done most of it.
So, since I took watch, do I even get to rest?
Oh, okay, yeah. So, we'll say that y'all switch around. That's my mess up. We'll say y'all took turns, and then nothing happened in the thing. And also, you have a meditation thing. I think you can meditate in like 4 hours and be fully rested.
Oh shit, well, I didn't know that.
I think I read it on your sheet. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I saw it on there somewhere because of you being a high elf.
Oh shit. I still got a lot of gold though.
Yeah, well, right on. So, you guys are all waking up. Is there anything particular you want to do before venturing?
I want to take a look at the Mon Bracer. What's it looking like right now?
It is now flashing green, or it's not flashing. It's just green, where that white strip normally was, or the red hue.
Hey, Jekyll, it's green now. It's no longer red.
What? Does this mean it works now? Are you going to try it?
I don't know. Let's give it a shot. So I'm gonna point the Mon Bracer out in front of me, and I'm gonna say, J Dyer, I choose you.
And suddenly, as soon as the words burst out your mouth, there's like a big white explosion of like a transparency that comes out, and before you know it, standing in front of you is this little pink demon, and it's sitting here like like almost like snarling out the mouth, and it's just looking around kind of confused.
Okay, so I'm gonna bend over and pick this thing up and hold it out in front of me and take a closer look at it.
So as you go to pick it up, it starts flailing a bit, but it makes no motion to hurt you, but it's definitely panicked and confused.
Aww, look at the little puff, man. So I'm gonna throw it toward Cord.
You throw it to give me an acrobatics throw. Or you could just roll it as an attack using your dexterity modifier.
Dexterity mod, fuck it. Alright, let's see. That's the first roll of the night. It is a 9.
9? Okay, and what your modifier is what, 2?
Yeah.
Alright. So as you lunge this little pink demon straight at Cord, in a panic as he sees it start flying for him, he jumps left into the side of like a bush and lands on the ground. And J Dyer rolls across the ground, and he falls flat on his butt when he stops rolling, and he just kind of has his arms sitting in his lap like he's like giving up for a second and real confused. And he turns his head around slowly, and he's just kind of peering at you with like a really like confused and bothered grin, and it starts going.
Oh, Jackal, isn't it cute?
It's certainly something, Oromis. I'm feeling a bit nervous about this, to be honest. Cord stands up.
Cord's just scared, that's all.
What? Why did you throw that thing at me? That thing ripped my head open. I'm not really comfortable about this right now.
Alright, so I walk over to old Jadar and I pat him on the head and be like, oh, he's harmless now. Well, to us anyway.
What the fuck is he saying?
Oh, shit. I don't know what he's saying.
Oromis, do you think it likes carrot slices?
I don't know, toss it one.
Alright. He reaches into his little pouch and he pulls out one and he throws it over there. And it lands in the ground right in front of it. And it looks down and goes. And then it looks up at you and then it shakes its head towards the carrot. I don't think he likes it, Oromis.
I don't know, maybe he only eats brains.
Cord kind of shivers and he says, I don't want to think about it. I think it's making my head hurt.
Well, I'm not gonna feed him your brains, Cord. Maybe the next animal we hunt down.
Jekyll nods. We could have fed it the bears.
Those bears were cool. But so was Mary. But I want his suit, so I couldn't take his bears.
It was a rather dapper suit. And Jekyll begins gathering his stuff and putting stuff on the back of the horse. And Cord he doesn't really have too much to gather, so he just kind of walks over to the horse and starts petting Atlas.
Alright, well, I guess we go back to town now. Jadar, return.
And as you do that, the white, like, transparent liquid almost flies back into your wrist as he seems to flutter away almost in the dust.
Okay, is it still green or is it turned back red?
It's red again now.
It appears I can only use this once a day.
Well, I imagine that's quite handy still, though.
Damn it, Jekyll, we wasted it.
Well, hopefully we won't need it and tomorrow will come swiftly.
Alright, well, onward towards town.
Alright. So the three of you guys hop on the horses. Jekyll and Cord obviously partnered up. And you guys start making your way back. It's a nice bright morning. And you get there rather unbothered. And as you start coming up to the carrot, you can see the carrot's color looks a little weird. And it doesn't smell or anything, but something's different about it. For sure.
Something's definitely different about the carrot.
Yeah, you can look at it and tell something's off, whether it's just the color or the texture of it. Something's weird.
Alright, well, I'll walk up to its front door, but I kind of want to touch the carrot, see how it feels. See if it's mushy.
Alright, give me Nah, I guess you don't really need to roll. As you touch it, this carrot feels abnormally hard. It's much harder than it was when you shaved the carrots off a day ago, or maybe yesterday. Is something wrong, Oromis?
The carrot's harder than usual. I doubt because it bakes in the sun.
I wonder what that's about.
I don't know, stick a knife in it.
Ooh, okay. He pulls out his little dagger and he stabs it in it pretty effortlessly, and he looks at you. It's stabbed.
Was it harder to do so than last time?
Well, I didn't stab it last time, so I'm not quite sure, but it just feels like a really crunchy carrot almost.
Maybe all the people inside are causing it to cook from the inside out.
That could be a possibility.
Okay, knock on the door.
Nobody opens it or anything, but Jekyll says, I think now that we're part of the village, I don't believe we have to knock. I think we could probably just go in.
Oh, I'll see if it'd fall over.
Oh, no, you had no issues with that. It's just knocked like normal.
I was joking with Jekyll. I ain't gonna look stupid.
Alright. And Jekyll opens it up and he starts leading Atlas behind him because he's no longer on his horse now. And he starts going in. And there's nobody in sight. It seems pretty quiet inside.
So wait, there's nobody in the Carrot Hotel?
Mm-mm. Well, the Carrot's not the hotel. It's just what's it called? Like an opening center, kind of like what you'd see if you stopped at a gas station in between two towns, and it's got all the little brochures. Be like, oh, we have the largest carrot here. We have stuff like that.
Okay.
But y'all all make your way inside, and Jekyll stops and he looks at a couple pieces of paper, and he's just kind of looking around. He says, I wonder how everything's going with everyone stuck in the corn inn together.
Oh yeah, it was the corn inn. Well, if nobody's here, I guess they're at the corn inn. You don't see anything here that could be of use to you, Jekyll?
He looks around, and I'm going to give him a perception roll. And he says, I don't think so. I do see a letter opener on the counter over there that looks quite sharp. I don't imagine it's better than my sword, but it does look kind of fancy.
Oh, you think we're about to go get into a fight at the corn inn?
Oh, no, the letter opener caught my attention. I've never seen one quite like that. It looks even custom made. And he walks over and he grabs it, and it's just a regular letter opener, basically, like a metal one, but it's in the shape of a tiny carrot.
You should totally take that, Jekyll.
You think so?
Yeah, maybe one day we'll find one with a banana that'll match your banana suit.
Oh, alright. And he quickly puts it in his pocket.
I'm gonna find you a carrot suit.
Alright, well, I guess we better be getting into town. Or out there.
Yeah, let's go check on everybody at the Corn Inn.
And you guys go inside or I guess outside, whatever you want to call it. And there's a couple people out and about in the town. But within minutes you see Uther hobbling over towards you, and he has a real grumpy looking face on him. Oromis!
What's up, Adolf Hitler?
He cocks his head to the side in confusion. And he says, I don't know what you're talking about, but I think we have something to worry about.
Oh no, you sound pretty communist to me, bud.
Communist? I'm all kinds of things, so maybe. I don't know what that is. What is that?
Are you still keeping everybody locked up?
Well, I'm not keeping them locked up in there. They just have to stay in there during night, so I know there's nothing fishy going on, you know. But it's gonna work out. Trust me.
Yeah, that sounds like communism, bud.
Well, maybe I am a communist. This is the first I'm hearing of this, but what I'm doing is just to keep my people safe. There's so much. I just think about all the stuff. You've been here less than like 2 weeks and think of everything you've seen.
Next thing you know, you're gonna tell people they can't eat here, they can't eat there, and they can't grow this or grow that. You're taking too much control, Uthor. You need to let these people live their lives freely.
Yeah, well, you might be right, but speaking of, telling people what they can and can't grow, none of our crops have been growing for some reason. My home, it smells bad, almost as if the fruit is rotting or something. And I don't know what to do about that. I'm getting kind of worried.
Oh, damn, that bitch.
Yes, I don't know. Maybe I'm just overreacting. Maybe it's just a really hot day, even though it feels pretty nice out here. But I was thinking maybe you and Jeklar could go check in on this witch again, see what's the situation.
Oh, I'm gonna finally get to kill this bitch.
Jeklar.
Okay, what is it, Jeklar?
Jeklar turns and he says, well, I believe this witch had wanted us to come back to her with any sort of information, and honestly, I don't really. She just said magical stuff, so I'm not quite sure what she was going on about. But maybe this.
These are magical plants, Jeklar, man. So I guess this falls up under it.
Possibly. I was actually thinking that maybe she would have some sort of interest in Jediah.
Jadar's mine, and that bitch tries to do that shit with those hands. I want to kill her.
Oh yeah, well, I definitely understand that. Hopefully we won't have any issues with that, since she seemed to be on our team last time, in a sense. And then
I still don't like her.
Uther says, well, liking or no liking aside, I want our village to be okay. Do you think you guys could go handle this for me?
That's the only reason I haven't killed her yet, Uthor.
Well, awesome. That I definitely understand. I haven't met her myself, but based on what you guys have told me, she sounds like quite a bewitch.
Oh, that's just my point of view. She's actually quite nice. But no one puts their hands on me and gets away with it.
Well, I understand that.
But if your village is totally effed, I'm sorry, but she must die.
Well, let's just see what you find, and hopefully we'll be able to work things out in a peaceful manner.
We'll see. It's my story, remember that.
Cord kind of walks up and he says, you know, guys, I might sit this one out. I feel like I've had my hands full for a minute, and I think I'm just gonna take a little time here to process everything that's been going on.
I look at Jeklar and I'm like, You think you should come with us, Jacklar?
Well, to be quite frank with you, Oromis, I'm surprised he even survived our first endeavor with him. He went straight from a hostage situation. He lost his brother, and then he was almost telekinetically eaten to death. So, I think if he wants a break, maybe he might deserve it. I don't know that you say he wasn't a very good fighter, so maybe he's not what we need right now.
I don't know. Everyone gets better.
Well, true. I sure hope I do.
You should stay here and clap out on the damn team. You're supposed to come with us, bro.
Cord shrugs and he was like, "Well, I was just gonna take it easy today, but if that's what you want me to do."
You couldn't even wrestle a bear.
He quickly points at Jacklar. He didn't beat it either. Whoa.
Yeah, but he's Jacklar. Who are you?
He kind of looks confused and looks over to Jacklar, and Jacklar is like, I tried to hold my own against that bear. I don't have fancy clapping thunder noises to surprise them, so it didn't quite work in my favor. We should instead
thunderclap your ass if you don't shut up, Jacklar.
he lets out a little chuckle. He's like, I'm just saying, you may have been able to do it, but I don't think I would be able to. And Cord certainly can't, so he shouldn't be blaming me. And Cord laughs. He says, "Hey man, don't even worry about it." And Uther says, "Well guys, I assume you've got this under control, so I'm gonna go back to the corner and just talk with a couple of people and see where everyone's at right now."
Well, fine. We'll just go face the switch all on our own. Cord, you stay here like the little witch you are.
Cord shrugs and he says, I'll be here, man. I might take a little stroll or something just to clear my head a bit, but I'll be here when you get back. Don't worry.
Alright, well, I guess me and Jacklar bid everybody farewell, and we're gonna get on our horses and ride off into the forest to go find this witch.
Alright. So, as y'all are riding through the forest for a little bit, give me a perception roll.
11 plus
4, I think, right?
Yeah, plus 4.
Alright. So, that's a 15. In the distance, you can hear a very loud scruffling sound. And it's coming towards you guys.
Wait, I hear a what?
Like a scruffle, you can hear like the trees and stuff being moved around real heavily.
We're on our horses, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so, we'll jump off our horses and, hang out next to these trees that we're currently at and see what the hell pops up.
Alright, so you guys quickly do this real quick. And, I think Jacklar's going to tie his horse real quick to the tree just in case. And, within, I'd say, a good 15 seconds after y'all do it, y'all see this black, long-snouted creature begin coming out of a bunch of bushes. And it's pretty large. And, right behind it is coming up a second one. And these large black things, they're almost like... they're like fatter than a ferret and a little shorter, but they've got thick and they got muscle to them, right? And they walk on 4 legs, and each of their paws have these thick claws.
Roughly how big are they? Like, how tall do they stand?
Tall-wise, I'd probably say maybe 7 feet tall.
Oh, shit. How long are they?
Let me think. Well, I'll just tell you up front what it is and try and give you an idea. These are badgers, but they're giant badgers.
Oh, shit.
But, okay, so they're a medium beast is what it says, and just think the bigger of the 2 bears you had fought was also a medium beast. So, it's not necessarily too big. It's not a giant, but it's it's giant for a badger for sure. So let's just go with a bear-sized badger.
Oh Lord. Okay. Do they appear friendly? I haven't had to roll for initiative yet.
Oh no, they're definitely savage animals. They haven't attacked you yet, just because I wanted to clarify what you were seeing, basically. But with that being said, we can go ahead and roll for initiative.
Oh shit! All right, Jacklar, let me know if it smells like Kevin Bacon in here.
Mm-hmm. Alright, well, Jeklar got a 1 on his initiative.
D20, right?
Yeah.
I rolled a 10.
Alright. So it's gonna go you, Badgers, Jeklar. And these Badgers have just stepped out of the bushes, and you have the first go.
Alright. Where's all my spells?
So, if you didn't prepare them, I don't know that it's going to show them on that list or not.
Oh, what's the difference?
But, so this is something I probably won't focus on too much, but apparently you have to act, like, let's say you have a spell book and you have to have the spells ready, basically. But I don't think that's fun. Who wants to complicate it like that? We're doing a lot of homebrew type stuff, whatever's fun for us. So instead of sitting there worrying about that and the components and shit, it's easier just to do it this way. I don't know how you can prepare them right now, but you know what spells it was, right? You said you had your new ones were Thunderwave, Invisibility, and Magic Missile.
Yeah.
So what I do is I pull certain spells up that don't pop up on there for some reason, and just have like a description of them.
Okay. Anyway, I'm going to use how far away are they from me?
I'd say they're about 15 feet, maybe.
Oh, this spell goes up to 15 feet.
Which one? Is that the Thunderwave?
The Thunderwave. Okay, so here's what I'll do. I'm going to jump in closer to them to make sure the shit hits. So I want to be about 10 foot away from them, maybe 5 foot. I'm going to use Thunderwave. And, okay.
So that is a wave of thunderous force sweeps out from you. Each creature in a 15-foot cube orienting, or blah blah blah, must make a Constitution save. Alright. And, what's it called? That will include Jeklar. And honestly, how far away did we tie the horses up?
Oh no, you're the DM, bro. I tried to jump in closer to them.
Okay, so I'm trying to picture. I should have probably came up with a little forest map for this, but I'm thinking you were 20 feet or 15 feet away from them, and y'all had just got off your horses and tied to them to a tree. So for you to walk 10 feet towards them, I believe you were still in 15-foot range from Jeklar and the horses.
Well, I am able to go up to 30 foot in a single turn, right?
Yeah.
Does that mean I can walk 50 foot behind them?
Yeah, I mean, essentially, I guess.
Turn-based tactics.
So basically, let's just say you dart or you dash real quick around them, and then if you go 5 feet behind them, basically, you should be good to safely hit them without hitting everybody else.
Alright, 10-4, let's do that.
Alright, so you use that, and they have to make Constitution throws. I don't know if you even have to roll to hit or not. I don't think so, but I don't know. Probably not. So, let's make their Constitution checks. The first one's Constitution gets a +2. So, the first one, he passed it, and the second one, he fails it. So, let's see, you roll 2d8 thunder damage, and then one of them will take half, and the other takes less, or all of it.
Yeah, and the one that didn't save, he gets pushed 10 foot back toward Jacklar.
Okay. Ooh, I like that.
Alright. 2 d8s. A 3 and another 3. Okay.
Alright.
So 6 damage.
Alright. And since it's one attack, I don't think you have to roll for both of them. It basically, they would both take 6 damage. Or, well, one of them takes half, but you know.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Are there any unsecured objects in between us? Like, because those get blown back 10 foot too.
I would say definitely like some sticks and branches and shit. Just random stuff on the ground goes flying back. Hold on, let's see. So one of them took 6 damage. So what's that math? Okay, there we go. Alright. So, as you clap your hands, or is that how it works?
I'm not sure. It's just a wave of thunderous force.
Okay. So, this big thunderous force shoots out from in front or from under you and quickly sends one of them flying back directly towards Jacklar. I think that would be about 5 feet away from Jacklar, and it rolls him across the ground. While the other one, he lunges his head down and kind of makes like a squeaking sound as he digs his claws into the ground to keep him steady. And he looks up at you afterwards, and you can tell he looks a little bothered about it, but like it didn't really do much to him. Like maybe his nose started bleeding a little bit. And it is now his turn. Well, actually, it's the one next to Jacklar's first. So, I think, honestly, the fact that you blew him straight towards Jacklar, I think that presents Jacklar an attack of opportunity because it's facing the opposite way to Jacklar and everything now that you've blown it back. So, I think I'm going to go ahead and let Jacklar make his attack on that one. So.
That sounds good.
Alright, so let's see. Jacklar is going to just probably take a swing at the back of it with this quarterstaff, I think. And Jacklar rolls a 19, and he gets a +1 because of his strength, so that makes him a 20. And I think the damage on that was 1d8. Yeah. So, as this thing comes flying towards Jacklar, he immediately warps straight down towards his spine as it stops rolling, and he smacks dead across it. And since it was a modified 20, I guess that's a critical. Or do you think it has to be a natural? I think it might have to be natural. I don't know. So, it's 3 damage, and that was on the one that got blown back. So he hits it, and this thing lets out like a real muffled type squeak as it drops back down onto the ground. And it is now the badger closest to you's turn, and he is going to do a multi-attack. The multi-attack allows him to attack with his hand or his claws and his mouth at the same time. So he's going to lunge forward towards you, and his first attack is going to be the bite, and he got a 21 on that one. And his claw coming at you, he only got an 11 on that one. So I believe that one misses, but the bite does hit you, right?
Yeah, my armor class 13.
Oh, yeah. All right. And so he does 1d6 plus 1. So you take 6 damage as he bites right at your, I say he probably bites at your left shoulder.
I take how much damage?
6 damage.
Damn. That little fucker. He's about to get hit.
Alright. And, I don't know, since I gave Jacklar an attack of opportunity, I wonder if that moves his turn, or if he gets to attack again. What do you think, logically?
Well, I'd say that just moved him up in the attack order, if anything.
Okay. Well, that sounds good then. And then so now it would be the other badger's turn, and this thing's gonna flip over real quick and attack Jeklar the same way the other one attacked you, and it's snarling at the same time. So his his first one was a 1. So as he swings his claw towards him and lunges forward to bite, I'm going to say the fact that he missed the other one is going to throw his balance off as he's swinging his claw at him, and his bite attack is going to be at disadvantage. And he got a 6 and an 11, so both of those miss. So he kind of topples towards Jeklar, but coming way too short with his attack. And it is now your turn again.
Alright. I'm now going to pull out my quarterstaff 2.0, whatever. My quarterstaff plus 2.
Oh, yeah.
And, it should already have that little arrowhead on it. I'm about to stab at this motherfucking... I'm about to stab at this thing that just bit me.
Alright, so I believe what we said is when you stab at it, you'll get plus 4 to hit, but you'll get plus 2 to the damage, right?
Yeah.
Alright, sounds good. So make your roll on this bad boy.
And it's piercing damage instead of bludgeoning damage at this very moment.
Alright, right on.
That is sad.
What'd you get?
I rolled a 2.
Oh, so a 6. That's not gonna cut it. So this badger had just bit you in the shoulder. So when you go to swing, you feel a sharp pain, and it kind of throws off your aim real quick, and you go a little bit to the right, and that puts it back at the badger's turn. I think I'm gonna put Jeklar back where he was in the initiative because he no longer has an attack of opportunity, so it puts him back at his normal roll, I think.
Alright.
So the badger next to Jeklar is going to go for the same move, and he rolled on the first one. He got a 19, so his bite definitely hits, and then he swings a claw, and that one hits too. Oh my god. Alright, so he basically lunges towards him. He gets a claw right into the left side of Jeklar and bites on the right side, like basically on his hips. And so for the bite, Jeklar takes 2 damage on that one, and the claw he takes. So he took 2, and then on this one he takes 5. So he just took 7 damage total, which is pretty good for him, to be honest. He got lucky. But that does still put him at 9 health. And this other one is now going to lunge at you again, doing the same multi-attack. And he rolled a 1. So it's going to give him disadvantage on the bite one now.
Oh, yeah.
So he rolled 15, and that's 22. So he takes the 15, which does hit you. So he gets you with the which one did I say he missed? The claw or the bite? Or do you know?
He missed the first one.
Okay, so that should have been the bite. So he misses his bite towards you, and he comes quickly at the other side of you with his claws, and it slashes across your leg a bit, and you take, that is 8 damage.
God damn. This thing's gonna wear down half of my health.
Let's see, so you had 21, so that would be
13.
Alright, right on. And it is now your turn again. And you can tell the one that's right in front of you, or no, the one that's near Jeklar, he looks really like worn out, like he's struggling for sure.
I'm gonna go for the one that just bit me. Or scratched me, dude. I'm the one that's killing me. Jeklar's got his shit.
Mm-hmm. Alright,
so I'm gonna firebolt this thing in the face.
Alright. Roll that 20.
Oh, hell yeah, nat 20.
Oh, hey, yeah, alright. So that's going to be a critical hit then. So your damage is 1d10, and you can either roll 2 1d10s or you can double the number, whichever you prefer.
I'll roll 2 d10s, like fair.
Okay.
That is a 9 and an 8.
Alright, so that is a 17. And how would you like to do that?
Blast this shit right in his freaking face, like engulf his whole head in flames.
Alright, so the thing, all its fur lights a flame, and you can immediately, before it gets a second to start incinerating, its eyes grow wide, and then the heat basically pops its eyes out before it starts falling to the ground, basically dying on the spot. And this other one is going to... I think it's going to run. Yeah, to be honest, it's going to try to run away. With that being said, it can move 30 feet per turn. But it is not going to run. It immediately begins digging into the ground. And within seconds, it's 10 feet down almost. And Jeklar, he's standing right next to it. So he's definitely going to try to... let me make sure that's a... Or see what if he has cantrip or spell. Okay, so poison spray is a cantrip. So he's immediately gonna poof down some poison dust into it, and we're gonna see if the other thing makes a Constitution check save. And no, it does not. It rolled a 1. So this poison immediately fills this little hole in the ground, right? And it's gonna take 1d12 damage, and it takes 4, which is just enough. So as soon as it tries to dig deeper, you hear it start going, and within seconds it just stops moving.
Man, I was about to run up to the hole and blast fire bolts into it.
Oh, that would have been good. Scorched him. Jekla looks down in the hole and he looks at you, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, those badgers did not give a fuck.
They came out of nowhere."
He looks at himself and he said, wait, let me see if he has a healing. Nope, those are all spells.
Save your spells for now, Jeklar.
He puts his hands down. He's like, okay, we'll be alright. We'll make it. He looks to you.
Well, let's see if we can loot the bodies.
Alright. So in the one that you scorched, you find nothing. But as you guys investigate upon the one in the hole, you do find a bag with 22 gold in its mouth, as if it had ate somebody's gold.
Alright, I guess we split the spoils, Jeklar.
It's 11 gold.
Yeah. Gotta load up Jeklar in case I die, that way I can play as him.
That's funny. Alright, so you guys are good to go. You got your money.
Alright, 241 gold.
Damn, you're getting rich, ain't you?
I don't know, there might be something in the game that's really expensive that I won't.
Felt that. Alright, so Jeklar walks over and he unties his horse and he says, I think we're nearly there, probably not much longer now.
Alright, let's go.
Alright, so you guys hop up on your horses and you make your way to the outside of the cave, and everything seems real. You don't see any bugs or anything crazy going on, but you are now outside the cave.
Let's go in this dismal cave.
Alright. So you walk in and you can immediately see there's no bugs anywhere on either side of these tunnels. I don't know if you remember the map too well, but
Yeah, it's like a circular tunnel, if anything. It circles back around.
Alright, and yeah, you don't see any bugs of any type on either side.
Alright, well, let's go ahead and go toward the back of the cave.
Alright. As you're going back there, you immediately notice you do not hear any sort of chanting, and none of the candles that were lit around the room seem to be. It's much darker. And as you get closer in your dark vision, all you can see is like a silhouette laying on the ground.
This bitch better not be dead. Alright, I'm gonna go investigate, see it. Poke her with a stick or something.
Jekyll follows closely behind you, and as you get closer, you can see her eyes are open, but you can see blood all upon her. Her throat slit almost like across of it, and you can see blood's been pouring out, and she's got her hands like over her stomach, tightly gripped, and she blinks, so you know she's alive. And as she tries to say something, no sound comes out, but you can tell she's trying to talk.
Okay,
Oh my god, Oromis. What happened?
She's probably doing some kind of spell. You think I should slap her awake or something?
Well, she looks a bit injured to me, but maybe it's worth a go.
Alright, so I slap this bitch.
Alright. As you slap her, more blood kind of spurts out her mouth, and you can see like tears kind of coming out her eyes, and she kind of slowly tries to turn her head back to where it was, and she's still trying to mouth something but no sounds coming out, and her face is real red also from where you smacked her.
Okay, well, she deserved that. Alright, well, alright, so I grab her by her shoulders, I try to shake her.
Alright, and as you do that, you see the slit across her throat seem to open up more and blood start pouring out more, and her eyes start like blinking, and you can see one of her eyes kind of rolling into the back of her head a little bit, and you can see this woman is in mad distress right now, like she's not well at all. And Jekyll goes, Oromis, I think she's dying.
Alright, well then heal her, you dumbass.
He quickly tries to, or he puts his hands on her and he casts Cure Wounds. And let's see, we can have mark one of those. That'd be 1d8 plus 5. Well, okay, here we go. Alright, so she would gain 10, but as he puts his hands on her and kind of casts it, it seems almost as if the light is fading through her, you know, the light source that comes, and Jekyll is not very convinced the healing took it all.
Oh, fuck, I don't have any potions of healing. Do you have a potion of healing, Jekyll?
I might, but I'm concerned that if my healing magic isn't helping her, how can we be sure that a potion would? And suddenly the woman lets out a and you can see her trying to raise her hand up.
Alright, I have half a mind to just cauterize her wound. Okay. Alright, yeah, go ahead.
She attempts again to say something, and you just hear him. I don't know if you could actually hear that. It was kind of far, but she kind of struggled to say him, but that's all that would come out. But you could tell she was trying to add more, and her eyes start to close a little bit. And Jekyll says, I think she's suffering quite bad, Oromis. I don't know what to do here.
Well, she's trying to say something. Let's try and get that out of her. What are you saying?
And she kind of starts to try and open her hand, and as she does, you see like a metal chain start coming out of it, but then her hand drops and her grip's still on it, but you can now see a chain outside of her, like a tiny chain, like a necklace chain or something, you know?
Alright, Alright, what is this chain that's in her hand? I want to pick it up and look at it real quick.
Alright, as you definitely would have to like pry her hands open. She's got, you ever heard of dead man's grip? Basically, she can't even really open her hand very well. But you know, no roll involved. You just have to pry it out of her hand if that's what you want to do.
Okay, well, I guess I snatch it out of her hand or something.
Alright. Let me send a picture to the Discord. But as you do this, you quickly realize it's a full-on pendant type necklace in her hand. And here's a picture of the symbol, but I'll describe it. This is something I threw together pretty quickly, so it's not a perfect picture. But basically, this pendant is a circle shape, and in the middle of it is like a 5-point star. But in the center of that 5-point star, there are 4 triangles with the tops all facing towards each other.
Hell yeah, that looks cool.
Mm-hmm. And she begins starting to cough, but she can't even manage a cough, and blood just begins rushing out her throat more. And Jekyll says, if we can't save her, Oromis, she's just suffering. Do you think we should do it?
Hey lady, is there anything in this room that could possibly help you?
At this point, she's looking pretty incoherent. Her eyes are still rolling around a lot, and with her coughing up all the blood through her throat wound, it's very unlikely that she would answer you.
Is there like okay, she's a fucking necromancer. Shit. Okay, is there? I want to look around the room, see if I can see like any potions or anything.
Alright, give me a perception check. Or, well, let's go investigation, but either way.
16.
Alright, and that's +4, right?
Yeah.
Alright. So, with the 20, you start looking around the room, and you can tell there was definitely some sort of fight here, and it appears that Rosina did not come out on the better end of it. But for the most part, you don't see anything that you feel would be helpful in this situation. The only really thing is you can see the rotted corpse of the Lapan on the wall still hanging. But around that is where her circle, she had a circle of candles, and that's where she was standing doing her chanting earlier. All the candles are out. Some of them knocked over. And there's basically like a big hole in the ground where in the center of it. But peering into the hole, it's just a hole that's like 4 feet deep. Nothing that looks of anything suspicious.
You think moving her into her circle will save her?
Well, it's worth the try, but I feel this may be a lost cause. I was going to suggest that we take her back to the village and see what we could do, but I don't even know that she would survive moving her to the circle.
Well, it's a shorter distance than the village.
Yes, but I spent quite a lot of time as a doctor, and to be fair with you, I can look at her and tell if my healing spells are not taking, this woman is not going to make it. I will say I'm a bit surprised that you're trying to save her, to be honest. You have spoken many times of wanting to kill this witch.
Yeah, but I don't want someone else killing her. I want to kill her myself.
He looks down at her and he looks to you. He says, well, this may be your last chance.
Oh, hell no. So I'm gonna grab her by her ankles. I'll start dragging her to the fucking circle.
Alright. Alright, I won't even make you make a strength check. It's not like she's gonna fucking struggle or nothing. You pretty much drag her over, and you can feel as you're dragging her, she's kind of going a lot more limp, like she's almost dead weight at this point. And you drag her into the circle. Are you putting her into the hole or just in the circle? Say the circle's about 5 feet wide. Well, let's say 10 feet wide, and the hole in the center is probably about 3.
I'll toss her in the hole.
You sling this witch into the hole, and she just kind of rolls into it. You see no resistance, no attempt to catch herself, and she's looking real bad, man. And I'd say any second this woman's dead.
Alright, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stand up all the candles, light them on fire, and I'll start dancing around this circle like an engine.
Jekyll looks at you very confused, and he says, Should I join in?
Yeah, do some of your healing magic while you do it.
Oh, alright, I'll make another try. And he starts, like, y'all start, like, rain dancing around this circle. Jekyll are feeling very awful about this, or odd. And as he's circling around her, he puts his hand on her, and he tries another Cure Wounds spell. And let me mark that. Alright. He uses another one, and still no change. Like the light that usually would shine through, it basically just fades the second it hits her. It's almost as if something is repelling any sort of healing from her. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I think at this point, while Jekyll is trying to do this and y'all are spinning in a circle, the woman goes lifeless.
Yeah,
Jekyll, he stands up and he kind of puts his hands on his side and he looks at you and he says, Oromis, could this be why there's no fruit growing or produce and why the carrots seem different?
Yep. Probably. Remember, she was the one making the things grow so magically big.
Oh my gosh. Does this mean the village will fall?
Probably.
He looks over to the necklace and he says, do you think that was hers? Or do you think it could be her killer's?
I
don't remember seeing this necklace the first time we were here.
It might be her killer's, but what good does this freaking necklace serve right now?
Well, I'm not sure. Perhaps we should go back and we shall tell Utho of our find.
Alright, well, before we leave, burn the body.
Burn the body. Okay. Let me say a few words though.
We gotta run her pockets first.
Alright. As you search her, let's see, I didn't think this far ahead. Roll me a 20.
Alright. 4.
4? Alright. In her pocket, you find like a little packet that you and I would know as a piece of gum, but to you, it just looks like what you would consider some sort of tree sap stick. But you don't really know what it is.
Okay, well, I'm gonna keep it.
Let me write that down. Alright. And you're gonna burn the body now?
Yeah, because she is a necromancer, and necromancers can come back from the dead.
Okay. Well, what do you firebolt it or whatever?
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna shoot a few firebolts down in there. Make sure it stays burning.
Alright. So, like Danny DeVito, you started blasting, right? And her body just lights a flame, and the cave's a lot brighter now. But she's just roasting, and now that it's bright enough in the distance, you can see that the giant beetle hive is no longer there. Also, it almost looks like it was scorched or exploded. Jekyll looks to you and he says, Perhaps somebody knew that she was the reason we had all these giant creatures, and they chose to take matters into their own hand. Otherwise, I don't understand why the beetles would be gone.
Okay, well, we're gonna have to find this person. We're gonna have to kill them because they just took my kill out from under me.
I do understand. I do. Yeah, I know how bad you wanted this.
Alright, well, let's search around in this room, see what else we can find before we leave.
Alright, To be honest with you, I think you guys have pretty much found everything worth finding. Nothing else sticks out to you.
Half imagine she might have like a spell book or something around.
Unfortunately, you could roll for it, but she pretty much did not have a spell book. It was mostly that her power was coming through her connection with the coven, basically.
Okay. Alright, well I guess we'll head back toward the entrance of the cave to get our horses and go back to town.
Alright, so it's a very quiet and questioning ride back. You don't really encounter anything. You do come across where you killed the badgers again, but nothing's changed. Maybe they smell a little funny now. Maybe some bugs are eating off the scorched one, like you barbecued their dinner for them. But you guys make it back to the town, and Uther's out and about, but you can see he's very anxious. There's some other people walking around just doing little things, but everyone around looks very concerned, considering that you can even tell when you walk into the village that it smells a little different, even more different than when you were here like an hour or two ago.
The whole village is about to start fermenting, and it's just going to smell like sweaty socks and alcohol. Oh, I can already imagine how it's going to smell.
But Uther has not taken note of you yet. He's just looking at a small little field of where they used to grow like pieces of corn, but it's not corn. It's corn, but it isn't working.
Alright, well, I'm going to run up to Uther.
As you approach, he turns to you quickly and he says, "Oromis, what did you find out?"
Your whole village is fucked.
His face immediately looks like super angry, and he was like, "What do you mean we're fucked?"
The whole reason you had a village that was growing big vegetables and whatnot is now dead.
He looks at you, and then he looks at Jacklar, and he looks back to you. "The witch is dead. Did you kill her?"
No, but someone else did.
"Someone else? Who could have done that? That's crazy."
So I hold out the pendant. I mean, like, whoever's pendant this is.
Immediately, his eyes widen, and he stands there with the open mouth for a second, and he reaches out to grab it. Do you give it to him?
Alright, well, I'll let him grab it.
He grabs it, and his hands shaking as he grasps around it, and he says, This is Quinn's pendant. Quinn wears this sometimes under his robe."
Can you tell me who Quinn is again?
Quinn is the priest.
I look at Jacklar. So, you know Quinn by chance, Jacklar? Like, on a personal note?
I wouldn't go to say, as on a personal note, I had a meaningful encounter with him when he helped me find my divinity, but otherwise, I don't know him that well. And Uther throws the pendant into the ground, and he says, There's gotta be some mistake. Why would Quinn go behind our backs and kill the witch? That doesn't make any sense to me." And then he kind of gets a sudden realization. He says, "Wait a second. I haven't seen Quinn recently. Ever since I locked everyone inside the Corn Inn, I haven't seen him one bit."
Let's go see Quinn. You got a necklace back, though. I like it.
He bends down and he picks it up and hands it back to you. And he says, "Well, you could search his house, but I don't think he's here. But it is very common of Quinn to go on a leisure stroll. He'll leave the village and come back in a few hours or so normally. So if you don't find him in his home or at the church, perhaps I could show you the path he takes."
Hey, let's go to his house first.
Alright. So the three of you guys go over to, I believe he lived in the Tomato, and there was an open bite mark, like you could see straight into it from where the giant beetle before had ate out of it. And you don't see anything, you just see his bed laying there. It's the bed you once slept in when you stayed the night here. But otherwise, no person in sight inside.
Let's search his house a little bit.
What? So, y'all walk in there and you start ransacking through stuff, and roll me an investigation.
17.
17, alright, plus 4. You find a small little pouch with 4 gold in it, and you find like a little sheet of paper that has something written on it, but over it is dry blood that's kind of smeared all the writing, so you can't really tell what it says.
1 second, I'm gonna look at something. I think I might be able to do something here. Okay, never mind, that ain't gonna work. Okay, well, I keep this 4 gold in a little piece of paper since I can't fucking read it.
You said you're keeping the paper too?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in my pocket.
Alright, let me write that down. Paper, and then I'm putting quotations, Quinn, and then you kept the pendant. I don't know if I spelled pendant right, but it'll be okay on the fly. Alright. Uther says, well, I don't think I see anything here, but maybe we could check the church.
Yeah, let's go check the church. The church.
Alright. So, y'all make your way to the church, and when you open the doors, everything looks pretty normal, but there is light. There's like this large cross on the back wall, and normally it would not be lit up, but it seems there's candles surrounding the wall around it, making the back wall very bright. But otherwise, everything looks exactly as it did when you and Jeklar were here last.
What's with the cross, Jeklar?
He looks up at it. Well, it makes me think of like a nighttime service, like they've really wanted to illuminate the cross. But otherwise, I'm not quite sure. Especially if he hasn't been here in a few days.
Yeah, how exactly is it illuminated?
Is that a question for me or Jeklar?
Jeklar.
Well, I think the way he has the candles positioned, it almost seems to carry the rays of light to it.
Okay. Let's search around this cross.
Y'all, you can kind of feel like you don't see anything physically, but you can feel like this aura coming off of it that's a little magical for sure.
You don't feel that, Jeklar? That little magical presence?
I do, but I haven't the slightest thought of why this... Could it be God?
Oh, God.
It makes the perfect sense. I found my divinity here, and the cross seems to be activated of some sort. I wonder... Uther says, yeah, this seems like a waste of time. God's not in this church. And Jeklar gives him a very offended look.
Oh, sorry, let him touch the cross. Let him touch the cross. He might get stronger.
He shakes his head, and Jeklar with a frown turns, and he touches the cross, and he thinks for a second, and he removes his hand. I don't know, nothing happened. I can feel the power from it, but nothing happened. And Uther says, maybe we ought to go find Quinn. I can show you exactly where he normally strolls. I can only show you the general idea because I normally don't follow him, but I can show you exactly where he typically would go.
Okay. I guess as we follow them out the door, I'm gonna slap this cross.
You slap the cross, and God strikes you down. Nah, I'm just kidding.
That'd be fucked up.
Alright, nothing though does happen, and you guys make your way out, and Uther leads you outside the village, and he kind of points, he says, "These trees over here, they're lined up almost as if it's like a hallway, and Quinn, he would normally walk straight down that. I've only seen him walk 10 minutes that way. He's usually gone for a couple hours, but I kind of feel like if you just go that way, you'll at least find some sort of tracks or something, assuming that's where he went."
Alright. Let's follow his trail, Jacklar.
And he quickly says, "But before you confront Quinn, unless you have no choice, please do not finish him off. I think there are many words to be had with him, especially if he has just destroyed our village."
Well, I'll try my best, Uthor, but I might kill him.
"Well, let's just see how it goes. But while you guys are handling this, I believe it's best I go gather everyone in town and I guess break the news to them. This is not a good thing."
Okay, well, let's go.
Uther turns and he shakes his head as he's walking away, and Jekla says, "All right, Oromis, let's find this man." And do you have anything particular you want to do, or you're just going to go ahead and follow this path?
I have 13 health. Fuck.
Yeah, and Jeklar done used 2 of his spells on a dead witch.
Then we should short rest it for a while, Jacklar, before we go.
I'd say we certainly can. It would probably be more beneficial. I am a little worn for wear. That's his way of saying he's got less than half of his health. Oh no, that's a lie. He's got 9 out of 16.
Yeah, we need to go rest.
Alright, so you're just taking a short or a meditation rest, not like ending the day, right?
Can Jacklar do the same?
Yeah, y'all both have that ability, I'm pretty sure. Let me double check that. I think that's like I don't know if that's an action or a feature. Let's see. You can channel divine energy to feel magic efforts. I'm gonna have to read into that. That sounds pretty cool. That's a cleric spell. The more you know, right? I'm looking for that bitch in here. I know it's somewhere. I don't see it, but I'm pretty sure because we're both high elves, we were able to take a rest. So we Gucci.
Okay.
Alright, so we basically, you want to like just post up and meditate for 4 hours, basically, right?
I guess so.
So you guys take your little short rest, and I think, let me make sure. Let me Google it, because I don't know if that gives you full health or half. Is 4 hours long enough for a long rest for elves? I'm popping up this just to make sure I know. Long rest is a period of at least 8 hours when you sleep, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, so you basically, it does say an elf can get the benefit of a long rest in only 4 hours. So yeah, that pretty much will fill us back to full health. And roll me a 1d6.
Alright.
This is basically your watch roll to see if anything gets y'all while you're resting or not.
I rolled a 1.
Alright, you lucky. You made it. Nothing interrupts you guys. So you pretty much just rested, and you're back on this trail now. Your horses even took a little break. Jacklar fed them some carrot slices. All Gucci up in here.
Alright, let's follow Quinn's trail.
Let me go ahead and mark y'all back at full health. So y'all follow this trail, and it pretty much goes forward straight for a while, but eventually you get to a fork in the woods, like where it splits like You could either go left or right, basically. But you are not sure which way he went, just, at first glance.
I can't see if there's any footprints or anything on the ground.
To do that, give me a survival check.
To be honest, I think my real life self would, survive much better than Oromis.
Why did you think so?
Because I have actual skills to live out this shit. I did not think to give him these kind of skills.
Well, so survival basically covers stuff like tracking and stuff. So basically, checking for footprints covers that, I think. So.
Alright, D20. I rolled a 9.
Alright, plus 2. I'd say 11's gonna do it. You can see that on the left path, on both paths there are footprints. But you can tell on the left side, these ones are much more recent. The other ones look like they could have been days and days ago, and it's real faded, dirt's kind of filled back in the print a little bit, but just not enough so you can still see it. So the more recent one is on the left path, and old footprints are on the right.
About how big are the footprints? About Quinn size?
Yeah, I would say about Quinn size. Let's go with that.
Alright, I'm gonna go that way then.
He wears a 22 in men's.
Oh shit, that's a big foot.
Bro, like a clown. Nah, but okay, so he probably wears a size 11, I don't know. But yeah, so you're gonna go that way?
Yeah, I'm gonna go that way.
Alright. So, you and Jekyll head down this path. I'm going to say at least another hour or so goes by. And you're probably down to it's probably 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon now because y'all rested for 4 hours and everything. So it's getting dark for sure. But as you come further into this trail, you see what looks like a dingy little cabin just sitting in the middle of the woods. And there's no windows or anything on it. All you can see is one solid door in the front of it.
Alright, so this path, his footprints led me to this cabin?
Yes.
Time to roll up on this cabin. He's a priest. What's the worst he can do?
Alright, so y'all walk up to the cabin. Jekyll he's nervous, so he steps off his horse and ties his horse to the tree real quick, and he pulls out his quarterstaff.
Okay, is there a way I can get my horse to rear up to this door and donkey kick that bitch in?
Hell yeah you can.
Alright, Ray is about to do it.
Alright, roll a strength check. You probably don't have your horse's check or page on hand, right?
No, I do not. But I'd say it's a horse. It should be able to kick a door in.
Okay, well go ahead and roll the 20 and we'll just use your strength modifier or your...
Which is a 0.
Alright, let's roll it and see what happens.
I rolled a 10.
Alright, also, there is a lock on this door, but so as your horse comes back and he basically kicks backwards into the door, you can see the whole door shake pretty violently, but it does not pop open just yet.
Alright, so I smack her on the ass and she's gonna try it again.
Alright, roll it again.
How'd I roll 10 twice in a row? That's fucked up.
Alright, you can see the door crack a little bit more, this time, but you can tell the lock is not bulging whatsoever. The door is literally cracking around where the lock is. Do it one more time, Oromis. You got this.
Alright. One more again. I slapped my horse on the ass, and I rolled a 17. Hell yeah.
Alright, this time as Rhea kicks back into it, the door flies off the hinges. Everything kicks off aside from the part where the lock was attached to it. But basically now there's just a piece of wood sitting where a door handle would be. But it goes flying into the room, and immediately the smell of blood hits you.
Alright, so I'm gonna tie up Rhea real quick to the tree, and we're gonna go in and investigate.
Alright. Inside the cabin, on the center of the floor, you see this large symbol, the same one that was on the pendant, but it's carved down into the ground, and the whole, I'd say it's about 3 inches deep, maybe 4. The whole thing is filled with blood, and as your eyes seem to look up from the hole, you immediately realize there are dead bodies all in this tiny little cabin. I'm talking 20, 30 dead bodies. Every single one of them lined up against the wall with their throats all slit. And next to the symbol on the ground is this golden chalice, and it's got dried blood inside of it too. And that's what all immediately catches your eye first.
I'm gonna investigate the chalice first.
Alright. Roll me a... Give me a religion check.
Okay. My atheistic Kyle is about to give you a religion check. 18.
Alright, and plus a 2, that's a 20. You don't know exactly what went on here, but you can tell this chalice seems to be important for some sort of ritual, at least. Like, you kind of get the vibe that if this chalice was not there, this ritual wouldn't have worked at all.
Alright, Jack Law, you hold on to this chalice. It looks like your buddy Quinn's more than just a cleric.
Uh-huh. As you turn around to hand it to him, Jack Lar's standing behind you like he almost wants to gag. You can see the disgust in his face, and he's trembling, like, not a fear thing, but out of disgust, really. And he reaches out with that word and grabs the chalice.
Alright, well, it's time to start running some pockets.
Alright. As you go to start searching around in these people's pockets, you do notice there is a book on a table in the far back corner. But roll me 220. Well, just roll me 120.
8.
8? So you're going to find 16 gold total.
Okay. Alright, time to look at this book.
So the the book on the front of it says "Returning Discordia to Reign," and as you would flip through it, it seems to be in a language you don't understand. Like nothing, you don't know what this language is.
Can you read it, Jack Law? So I'm gonna hand it to him.
He grabs it and he takes a look at it and he says, I am not familiar with this language, Oromis.
What's the cover say again?
Returning Discordia to Reign.
Alright, well this seems important. Let's keep it.
Alright. So, you pocket that bad boy, or however you do it.
It might have something to do with the blood rain tokens.
I will say this though, you couldn't read the words, but there were several pictures in this book of gory things, sacrificial type shit, like people being hung up and their flesh being like opened up, similar to like how the Lapam was, or people like being tied together on like these giant spit roast things, and their throats being slit. Like there's just a whole bunch of gory sacrificial stuff for sure. But
looks satanic as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh damn, okay. So we got this Necronomicon in my pocket. Alright, we'll look around the room. What else can I find?
So you're not really seeing anything else that is popping, like anything, you pretty much ran all the dead bodies. It smells terrible in here. You found the book and you see the symbol and chalice. That's pretty much the whole room. It's a very tiny little thing. But Jeklar, looks at you and he says, Perhaps you could maybe use a spell to investigate this book.
Like the detect magic spell or some shit?
Well, I'm not sure. The book may be magical, but I believe one night we were at a fire, you told me of some of the tricks you can do, and I believe you have a spell you told me about that maybe could help us understand this book.
Let's see, what is the spell? Comprehend languages.
Oh, yeah. Yes, that's the one, Oromis, that's the one. Perhaps you could use that and translate the book in some manner.
Alright, well, I'll do that.
Alright, let me look at this and see how that works real quick. For a duration, you understand the literal meaning of any spoken language you hear. You also understand the written language that you see, but must be touching the surface on which the words are written. It takes about a minute to read one page of text. Okay. So, it's not necessarily a fast process, but you use your spell and kind of slide your, your fingers across it, and you can tell that the book is talking about, that the language, for one, is something called Infernal, and it consists of a whole bunch of different types of spells that must be casted by somebody who's spilled thousands and thousands of gallons of blood in the name of some sort of creature named Discordia, or some sort of demon. A page is specifically marked that says making human sacrifices in a place deemed holy is a key point to the return of Discordia.
So he plans on making sacrifices in churches and shit.
Jekla says, What does it say? What do you mean?
Well, this here says he has to make sacrifices in holy places.
His eyes grow wide. Maybe this is why the cross seemed to be lit up. Oh my god, Oromis, we may need to go.
Wouldn't it be kind of smart to wait here and ambush his ass?
Possibly, but do you think he's coming back here? I mean, it's been, we rested for 4 hours. It took us at least another hour to get here. I'm kind of concerned about the people at home.
Alright, well, let's ride on back then.
Alright, let's do this. Are you keeping the book?
Yeah, I'll keep it.
Okay, let me jot that down. I'm going to just write book. I'll look into it later what I'm talking about.